Yesterday we have discussed up to concept called as exceptions. Right? So today we are going to start with something called properties. So today we are going to discuss something called as properties. Now properties are basically used to change your look of your output. Yeah, go on mute. Hello. Everyone please go on mute. Voice is echoing otherwise. Hello. Yeah. Right. So what is it now? We are going to look at. Okay, properties are used to change the look. Okay, look of the output of the query. Okay, the main properties are used for what purpose now? To change the look of your output of your query. So when you want to change your now, suppose here you have different type. Now one is called as a row property. So this is my query designer what I have opened now. So just opening the query that we have created yesterday. So I'm just going to search for my query now. So it is under favorites. Okay, this is my query what I have created. Okay, now if you look at your output, so just give me 2 minutes. My output of my report. Now what the user can see now? What is the description you can see? Cust NO. Where is this description is coming from? No, heading. While creating the info object, I have given some description as, you have given something called long description and short description. Let's suppose, what is my info object name? Just observe. I am saying display as a key. What is the technical name? YC underscore CNO, right? So now, I am just going back and checking in my DA side. What is that info object name was? YC underscore CNO. Okay, I am just searching for that particular info object now. Okay, just search for your info object now. So what is that info object name? Customer number. So just go I'm clicking on change. Now what you can see, what is the descriptions? One is long description and the other one is short description. Okay? But in the reporting, what it is taking? Short description. Why? Because there is one tab called here Business Explorer. While creating info object, there is a tab called. So what are the settings that you do here? This will become the default settings at a reporting level. So now, what is the best description now? The set is first 10 rows. Suppose I'll change it to long description, means it will become as how it behaves at reporting level is it will take as a customer number. Okay, right. Now here what you can see, that is database level. Now even at the report level also, what is that now? It's showing a short description. I don't want to see as first 10 row. End user will not understand what is. C says you want to see it as, let us say, customer ID. Did I give any customer ID in the database? But still I want to change my output. Look, then I can go with what? Properties. So now, what is that now? See, it is used to change the look of your. So then you have different properties you are going to see. One is called row properties. Then you have something called column properties. Then finally you have something called query properties. Okay, row properties. Then you have column properties. And finally the query properties. So row properties are applied on your characters. Column properties are applied on your key figures. Query properties are for entire query. Okay. So when you want to change your look of your output based on a character values, then you go with what? Row properties. And what is that? See, remember, any row property we change, okay, any row property we change, okay, it affects for all the columns. Okay, any row property I change, it will affect for what? All the columns. Now, observe now how I am going to apply a row property. See, so I am just selecting the character here on which you want to apply a property. Right side, what you can see now? Properties of what? Customer number. Suppose if I say material number, properties of what? Suppose this is column properties. Select the revenue, properties of key fee. Right. Select the quantity, second properties of. Clear now? Okay. Or what you can do, you can apply here just drop down. Okay, what has been you have kept now? In the rows, you have customer and material. Which property you want? Select it, material properties. Or if you want, what are the things you have placed in your columns? This is my column revenue. Now if you select the query name, that's nothing but your query problem. You can just select from drop downs also. Now see now, I am selecting this customer number. Right click, right time you can see properties. What is that description now? First NO. I want to change it now. So just I am changing it to so am I changing at database level? In database level still it is first NO only, short description. But front end, can you change your look now? Okay, what is going to happen now? Customer ID. Clear now? Suppose, next, see, I am selecting it. You can see the properties here. Suppose if you say, use the standard text, what is going to happen now? It's coming back to my, okay, clear? Then go to, general tab is clear. Then what is that now? Next one is the display tab. So now, if you can see, what is the display tab is, now you have basically loaded two types of master data, right? One is attributes, other one is text. Now just check now what is the text type of data you have loaded there. So what is the general setting? Display as what is that now default option is? Text, right? Today it's very slow. Just a minute. So look at your master data now. The remote system is very slow today. Now look at this master data now. What is it now? For C1, what is the text type of master data we loaded? Text 1. C2, the text type of master data is in which language now? In the English language. Okay? Now, see, look at that particular data now. So what is that now? While creating that object also you can see the default option was display as what now? Display as what? Why it has taken display as text? Because that in Bex tab also there was display as. Now observe now what happens. Your query you can just check. So what is it you can see? For C1 it is showing as text 1 none. But C3 and all there is no text type of master data. That's why it is showing as C3, C4. But for C1, C2 I have text type of master data. That's why it is shown as text 1 none. Now I don't want to see it as text 1, text 2. I want to see it as C1, C2. What you can do? Same thing. Customer number. Go to the display properties. The display as what now? Key or text. Text and key or key and text. Suppose I want to see key and text. That means first it will show C1, next it will show first one. So now what is that now? C1 is first one, C2 text is first two, C3 there is no text type of master data, it is shown. Clear now? So like this, sir. So you can change your output is not changing, just only look of your output is changing. Suppose if you say you want only key. So now what happens only? So that is a property basically. Now suppose if you say use characteristic setting, what happens now? The default option, whatever specified at the Business Explorer tab, the same setting will come back. Okay, let us say I'm saying display as key. Then what is the next property you can see? Sorting. Hello? Yeah. Sorting. Sorting should be done based on what? I want it based on my customer number and whether it is to be sorted by key or text. Key means C1, C2, text means +1, +2, what you are loaded at. I am saying based on key and whether you want it in a ascending order or a descending order. Okay? So that is starting. What happens now? It shows in a descending order now. Earlier it was showing C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, but right now it shows as starting in a descending order. Then okay, that is again default setting. And what is that now? Result lines. So what is result lines? You can see in the output you have something called, there is one overall result and there is some sub result. Now overall result is with respect to what? Right now customer. This result is with respect to what? Material wise it is adding, right? Now which result you want to suppress? Suppose I want to suppress that means you have to suppress your property for what? Customer number. Suppose you want to suppress the sub result, you have to suppress it for what? Material number. So now, let us say I want to suppress my overall result. Okay, customer number, result lines. What is that option now? Always display, or you can see what is that? So I said let us say always suppress. Now just check what happens. Is there any overall result right now? Suppose you are changing your analysis now. I am doing my navigation. Right now your analysis is now with respect to what? Can you see overall result is there? Because overall result is now with respect to material. Now suppose I am changing my dimension. Earlier it was customer wise material. Now I am saying material wise customer. Now overall result is now with respect to material. And any sub result you can see. So this wherever customer number is there, it will not be showing the result of that. Understand? Because you have suppressed the result for customer number. Now, suppose I will come back to other option. Okay, let us say I am saying default setting, I am going back. What is default setting is? Now I have suppressed the result. What has happened? It was suppressing the result for revenue as well as quantity. The row property what I am saying, it is applying for all the columns or no? That is what we said. Any row property we change, it will affect for all the columns. So next is, suppose, just observe now, we said again we remove that property, just see the output now. Now if you can look at the output, what is that it's showing? 900 plus 1200 is? Okay, fine. But when you look at here, it is two materials, it is adding, it is showing fine. But suppose some P5, how many materials now? 4500. Again, result is also? Now in this case, is there any requirement to see the result there? If it is more than one value, I need to see the result. If it is only, okay, what you can do? So if it is more than one value, it has to show the result. If it is only one value, it should not show any result. So now, for which I need to apply the property now, for material or customer? Material, right? So select material number, result lines. What is that now? Display with what? More than one single value. So result lines is what now? I am saying display with more than one single value. Now save it and execute it. Now can you observe now for C5 is there any result is there? If it is more than one single value, it is showing the result. But only if it is one value, it is not showing any. Clear now? So what is display properties is clear? Okay? And if it's always suppressed means, the particular result will be suppressed. Here that is display property. Then this is hierarchy type of master data related. But as I said, we generally don't go for maintaining the hierarchy type of master data. So next is for planning application. We are not working with the planning application. Okay, in planning applications they use these properties like this. You can apply now some properties to change your look of your output. Right now what I have shown you is row property. Same way you have for key figures also, column properties. What is that now? General tab is the description. Then what is that now? So aggregation will not be enabled. Go to the display tab. What is the display? You can see what is that now? See, when you, if you are changing your column property, it will affect only for the particular column. The column property will affect only the it will affect only your particular column now. So now suppose revenue, okay, user, right? See now for revenue, I am going to display property. What is it now? Always show. Now can you see the preview revenue? Suppose if I say always hide, even though you place in the columns, can you see it now? Is there any revenue now? I said always hide, right? See now observe now. See what is that now? Navigation block key figures is there. Right click on this. Try to select the filter value. Just like how is your static filter we discussed. Can I add revenue now? It's always hidden. But suppose same thing, if you say hide can be shown. What is it now output? Same. Revenue is not there. Just observe now. Is there anything in revenue? Look at. But left side you can see key figures. Right click on this. Filter. You can select your filter value. So now can I add revenue now? This is hidden but can be shown. Clear now? What is the difference between always hide and hide can be shown? Right. So that is, I am hiding revenue. Only revenue is hidden or not? It is affecting only the particular column, right? So that is hide. Then what is that next you can see? Normal display or a highlighted display. I said let us say highlighted display. Save and execute it now. What is that now? Revenue is shown in a bold. That is highlighted display. Okay, like this. You can apply now some basic properties. Then what is it now? Number of decimal places and scaling factor. Right? Now here you can see your values are in terms of hundreds, 900, 1200, 1600, fine. Suppose imagine the values in terms of millions. The values in terms of. So now whoever may be the end user, how he has to start counting? Unit, 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, lakh, million. It's very difficult. No, but I want to show you the map. I have to apply some scaling factor. At the top it has to show revenue in millions. Suppose if it is 10 million, it has to show as 10. So now same way now, what I am saying, I want to apply a scaling factor. Let us say I am applying a scaling factor of 100. And how many decimal places it has to be shown? After point, how many zeros it is showing now? If you can observe. .900.00, 1200. Now after point it will show now how many decimal places? 2 zeros, because here you have number of decimal places as, suppose I said number of decimal places is 0, and what we are saying scaling factor is some, I said let us say, that means your figure should be divided by what now? By 100. Just execute your query now. See now what is it now? It is 900. This is 1200. Revenue into 100. 9 means 900. 12 means 1200. Like this. Suppose I say scaling factor is 1000. And number of decimal places is what? 0. The scaling factor is 1000 and we are saying number of decimal places is 0. Okay, now what happens now? So 900 by 1000 means 0.9. 1200 by 1000 means 1.2. Just observe what it's doing. As the number of decimal places is 0. Now what is going to happen now? It is showing as what? 0.9. After 0.9, 9 is greater than 5, it is truncating to the higher side. It is showing as what? 1. Next is 1.2. 1.2. 2 is less than 5. It is truncating to the lower side. What is the value it is showing again? 1. But actually this value is 1200, this value is 900. But if you look at this, what happens? 1 into 1000 means 1000. 1 into 1000 means again. That means there is a mismatch of data. That means that's what. So when you use scaling factor, be careful how many place your values may get. You know what is that now? 0.9, 1.2, 1.6. Right? So like this, you can apply some, what is it? Scaling factor and number of decimal places. Right? Scaling factor, then number of. Actually, now what is scaling factor and decimal places? Then sign change. C plus or minus sign or reverse. If reverse sign means what? If it is a positive value, is everyone facing the same problem? Is everyone facing the same problem or only you? Okay. Clear now? So suppose if I say reverse sign, what happens now? If it is positive value, it shows as negative. If it is negative value, it shows as, so just like suppose debit and credit. Now for you it may be a debit, but for other person it may be a credit. So like that. So when you want reverse your sign, you can use that particular option. So I said reverse sign. Now what is happening? It's showing as minus 900, minus 1200. Okay, like that. So you can reverse your sign. Display is clear. Then you can see next is extended, is to which portal ID you have to broadcast it. Then you have something called calculation. Now you ask me, Vinay, I want to change my result. How your result should be changed as? Calculate result as what? Nothing defined means default it is showing entire values and it is adding it. Or if you want, you can apply a minimum or a. So I think there is some bug in the system. I said minimum. So actually it has to show the minimum value. But I don't know whether it shows or not. Just check. Now 900 and 1200, which is the minimum value? So it will show in the result as 900 actually. The change is not applying because in some demo systems there will be some problems will be there. Okay, but actually there it will show as. And even overall result also, what is the entire thing? The minimum value is what? 800, right? Overall result will also be 800. So you can change how your result should be applied as. Whether you want it to be a minimum or whether you want it to be a maximum, or you can say total. So if you say total, only what are the values it is displayed. Suppose I applied a restriction. So now only restriction is C1 and C2. It will show the result of total of only C1 and C2. Okay. Then summation, counting. Counting of all values means. So now 900, 1200 like this. What will be the value now here? 2. Suppose you have 3 values. P1 has got M1, M2, M3. Count will be 3. Count means it will not do any result or something. It will just count 1, 2. 2 values. Next again 2 cell values, 2. Okay, that is what is count. So count all values. All values means it will include 0 also. So somewhere the cell value is 0. The 0 is also included and it will count. But if you want to exclude 0 on count, you can count all values not equal to 0. That means it is going to exclude the 0 and it is going to do the count. Okay. Then you have something like called first value and first value means what? 900 and 1200. Which is the first value? 900. Last value means 1200. Like that. Then you have average. Average means 900 plus 1200 divided by 2. Suppose you have another special value that is by 3. Okay. This is excluding 0 and doing the average. Standard deviation. Okay, have some formula for standard deviation. Sigma h minus x bar by n whole square under root. Variance, and you have suppressed result also. Now rows also have suppressed result. Along the rows, if you suppress the result, what happens now? For both the key figures, it is suppressing the result. But suppress along the column means only for the particular key figure, it is going to suppress the result. Okay. So that is how you can calculate your result value. And what is that now? Calculate. Single value means the cell value. What is the cell value here? 900, and from where it is coming? From the database, right? So now, in both the places I want to see 1200 only. Then you can apply, calculate your single value as. Okay, so calculate single value as first value or last value, maximum, minimum, same thing. Okay, calculations. So same thing, minimum, maximum, counting, average. Okay, like this, you can apply your how the single value should be. Calculate single value as. Okay, clear now what is? General, aggregation, display, extended, calculations, and this is for again for plan type of transaction data. Okay, so that is what is your column properties, and you have for entire query, that is nothing but your query properties. So this is your query properties. Okay, under query properties, first what you can see, general tab, where you can see, you can change the description of your query, or you can see the technical name of your query, and this is the cube name, on which cube you are building a query. Then you can see display tab, any documents are there, any documents are attached, you can display those documents. Then to which portal ID you can broadcast it, and you can see what is that, there is one small checkbox here called allow external access to this query. Allow. Now let us say this BEX query should become an input for your SAP BO query. Now my client started using BO also, business objects as your reporting tool. Now when you start BO, okay, so what is going to do, for this BO, BEX query can become an input. Okay, you build something called universe there. So universe can be built on your BEX query. Okay, but provided what? You have to allow the external access for another third party tools. But if you don't release here, if you don't allow external access here, this cannot become an input for another system. So in order to make that, to allow the external access for your query, you have to select this particular checkbox. Then you can make it as an input to your SAP BO related query. Okay, that is extended. So now general, variables will come next, display, extended. Next, what is that now? Rows and columns. Now in rows and columns, what is asking? The result position. Where should be the result position? He has given some illustration, you can observe. You have basically, you can see yellow lines are the results. You can see one result along the columns. There is one result along the rows also, right? How is that possible? Suppose I am saying material number drill down by horizontal. Now as you can see two results over there. So one result along the column, 3 plus 3,600 is 6,600, and one result along the row. So now whatever you are seeing here, this one, this is nothing but which result now? This particular result. And whatever you are seeing this side, this is nothing but this particular result. Okay. Now how the result position should be? How the, right now you can see it is below. That means first cell values are coming. Then if you say above, first what happens? First result will come. Then you can see the cell values, then to the right side or to the left side. See now, what is going to happen now? Your result will be displayed at the top now. The overall result is there now. So first result is coming. 900 plus 200 is 2100. Then the right. Suppose if you say material number, drill down with horizontal. First the result is coming. Then the cell values are coming. 900 plus 1200 is 2100. 16 plus 3000 is 4600. Then the adding of all these things at the summation at the top. So like that, you can specify where your result position should be. Above or below, to the left or to the right. Then, what is that now? You have something called surplus zeros. Surplus zero means if you have any zeros in the report, do you want to hide them, suppress them? What is the default option is? Do not suppress means you can see now wherever zeros are there, still it is showing. But suppose if I say suppress zeros, active I said. Active along what? Rows. Now what is going to happen? Along the rows, the result should be 0. If you can look at it, along the rows, what is that now? Result is equal to what? If along the rows, result equal to 0, what is going to happen now? This particular data is going to be hiding. See? It's not the cell values it is going to consider, it is going to consider what? The result value. That is active. Suppose if you say columns means, along the columns, the result should be 0. That is active. Or you can see active, all values is equal to 0. That is the cell values it is going to consider now. I am saying along the rows. Along the rows, entire cell value should be 0. This also 0, this also 0. Or if you say along the columns, or you can say rows and so based upon the thing you can, if you want, start surplusing it. You know what is surplus zeros now? Okay? Right. So that is whether you want to hide your zeros. Do not suppress active. Clear? That is suppressing the zeros. Then you have general is done. All these are done. Next is value display. Now if it is negative value, how it has to show? Just now you have seen, if it is negative value, first it has shown minus 900. So first value after the first negative single or after the number, then you can see in the parenthesis means in the brackets. And suppose you have some zeros in the output, how your zero has to be displayed? So do you want to show zero as a space, or you can give some text? Suppose I am giving here show zero as null. Now wherever 0 is there, what will be shown in the output is null. Okay? Right now, see now, that is what is your query property. Okay, where you can basically what you are doing is just changing your look of your output, nothing else. Okay? So based upon the requirement, which property has to be used when, according to that you have to start using these particular properties. Okay? Right. So today I am going to stop here today. I have some work now, I have to go. So tomorrow we'll start with the theoretical part. Still some lot of concepts are left in basically calculated key figures, restricted key figures, structures and variables. These are the 4 concepts that are left in your query designer. So tomorrow almost 45 minutes we'll go for theory. Then we'll start applying those things in your, right?